What's going on, everyone? It looks like Nebraska finally made the right decision when it came to Frost. So this statement was released from Vice Chancellor, Director of Athletics, Trev Alberts, and this is what the statement says. Earlier today, I met with Coach Frost and informed him we were making a change in the leadership of our football program effective immediately. Scott has poured his heart and soul into Nebraska football program, both as a quarterback and head coach, and I appreciate his work and dedication. After the disappointing start to our season, I decided the best path forward for our program was to make a change in our head coaching position. Associated head coach Mickey Joseph will serve as our interim head coach for the remainder of the 2022 season. So, they finally got rid of Frost. This is something that many fans and just football minds in general have been saying. Like, Frost has got to go. He's clearly lost that locker room. He's not the head coach for this team. This year was supposed to be a huge year for Nebraska. This year was supposed to be the year that they got all these big transfers and they really have the talent compared to, the Wisconsins and stuff, and we can go and, we're going to dominate. And they've lost two of their first three games against teams that they shouldn't have lost to. I talked about Georgia Southern, that game. I broke down pretty much every game with Nebraska. And every game is the same thing. There's just no preparation. That just doesn't look like there's any structure when it comes to that. And they can't beat the teams that they should beat. And I said in the video that I posted yesterday about Nebraska, I said that, hey, look, it's one thing to lose to the Wisconsins, whatever, things like that. People were like, oh, that's the mentality. It's not that I'm saying they should lose to the Wisconsins. But I'm saying there are teams that you're supposed to beat, that you should beat, night in and night out. And then there's the teams that, okay, I understand these are a lot tougher games. They could go either way. That doesn't mean you don't try to go beat them. It doesn't mean that you just, we're playing Wisconsin, so let's just lose the game. No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that there are teams that you are supposed to just run through. And then there are the teams that are going to give you a challenge. And every once in a while, yeah, you have a bad game or something like that. And, it's football, right? The game of football, any given Sunday, or for college, any given for Saturday, right? Things like that. But when it comes to what we've seen from Nebraska, this has not been that. This hasn't been an every given, Saturday, or just it was a rough go, whatever. And when I talked about the first game of the season, people tried to say, oh no, it was just, it's just a bad game, this and that. And I was, if you watch that was not a bad game. That was bad preparation. That was bad just execution. It looked like a team that just got dominated by somebody that they shouldn't have. Northwestern should not have dominated them in the way that they did. That was a total embarrassment for this team. And then yesterday, they can't stop anybody. You put up 42 points and you still lost the game. And Georgia Southern had 2 turnovers. Usually, when you put up 42 points and the other team has 2 turnovers to your none, usually win those games, especially against a team like that. And look, Georgia Southern, congrats to them. They have started the season 2-0. They played solid yesterday. But this was supposed to be a different type of team. Nebraska, this year, like I said, 22 or 23 transfers, something like that, off the top of my head. That come to Nebraska is supposed to be huge. We got the talent. We got some guys that are elite at their position. We got the coach. We got this, that, the other. And everybody was preaching, fire Frost. Get rid of him. He's probably a great guy, but this is the game of football. And I never want to see somebody lose their job or anything like that. Nobody does. But you're paid to win these football games. You're paid an insane amount of money to get the job done. And it's just like anything else. It sucks, but if you're not doing the job that you're being paid for, then there's no point. You gotta go. It's time to move on. And even he, it was just always, you see the press conference after week 1, and it's just I'm just gonna ride it till the wheels fall off. That's not the answer I want to hear, man. And look, I'm not a Nebraska fan at all. I've made that clear in all the videos. I'm not. I just saw all of the hype, all of the talk, this, that, and the other. Nebraska, this is their year, this is their time to make some noise, and they've been terrible, terrible. Like this was atrocious, and it's just like I want to see from teams because I'm a football fan. Period. Like that's what it is, and when I see coaches respond not as like we need to be better. These guys, that was my like we didn't prepare this that. I don't want to hear like hey like I guess I'm just gonna have to ride it and I'm riding with these guys until the wheels fall out. Like no, tell me you're gonna be better. Tell me you're gonna do better. Tell me like he's just so like oh well it's like no that's not what I want to see from a head coach of a football program. Like I want to see him like, no, that was unacceptable. That should not have happened. Like that was a game that we should have won. Yes, they're a great football team, but hey, we are Nebraska. Like we have the talent. I don't want to see like, oh yeah, it sucks. Like good. Like now you can go. You go home and do that. Watch the games on your couch. Like it's just I don't know. I don't know what the answer is. I don't know. This year. I could see Nebraska getting a fire lit, but still, it's like the season's it's too late. The season's already over. You're not getting in the bowl game. You're gonna lose other games. So it's just, can you find the right coach going forward? This is something that should have been done a long time ago. And it's something that Nebraska they just kept them. And this was something people were preaching and wanted done for a while. They wanted it before going into the season, especially with all the transfers and everything. But it was like, let's see what Frost can do with this type of talent. Well, you saw what he could do. It was worse. It was a worse result. Like, it's just no matter how you shake it, he's not the guy for the job, and it's time to move on. So now you got your interim head coach, and I think, yeah, of course, these guys probably step up. You usually see that, when a coach gets fired or something, the players really, step up to get that fire lit. But I don't think that this is going to be, I don't see them being able to turn it around. I don't see them able to right this ship. I think that ship has sailed, and Nebraska's just, it's going to be a rough year. You try to get some learning experiences out of this. I think you try to figure out what your identity is as much as possible. I mean, obviously, a new coach is going to come in and reestablish new culture, stuff like that. But I think you at least, find out like which players are which team is, what team are we going forward? Are we that team that just lays down? Like what ends up happening, I think is the direction that this all plays out. But I don't know. Anyway, as always, I'd love to hear your thoughts and opinions. Let me know what you think down in the comment section below. What do you think of Frost finally getting fired? Are you happy with this? Are you not? Do you think that this is a long time coming? Do you think this should have happened sooner? Do you think like no, you gave him an opportunity, like that was fair? What do you think this means for Nebraska going forward? And which coach would you like to see coach Nebraska? That's a really good question too. Who's like. Think of like the elite, like who's gonna come on? I mean, money solves everything, right? Do you throw a bunch of money at like an elite, legendary coach, and hopefully maybe you could persuade somebody? I don't know. But however you feel about the situation, however you feel about Nebraska, however you feel about Frost, like I'd love to hear your thoughts and opinions. Let me know down in the comment section. That being said, hit that like button. Helps me out a lot. Lets me know you enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. If you're not subscribed to the channel, hit that subscribe button, followed by the bell notification. Stay up to date with all things sports. Join this wonderful community and all of our discussions. I'll see you all in the next one. Thank you.